Listen, before you give up on your partner or you quit that relationship, watch this video to the end. There are 4 stages of relationship you need to understand and why most people quit at stage 3. But if you are patient enough to cross to stage 4, you will have a perfect relationship and a marriage. All right? Stage 1, the attraction and infatuation stage. This is where everything feels magical. You are in your best behavior and you even ignore red flags just to make things work. You communicate longer, you sleep with each other more, you want to go out on dates, you want to spend more time with each other. But most people confuse this with real love. It is just emotional high and fantasy. It is okay to enjoy it, but don't build your future on it because it will soon come to an end. And that is where you get to the second stage, which is the revelation and reality stage. This is where the mask goes off. This is where real love begins. You begin to notice their flaws. You begin to question your compatibility. This is where there will be disagreement and misunderstanding. In fact, you even question why you are in that relationship. And you will hear things like, oh, you've changed. This is not how you were before. But this is the second stage of your relationship. There is nothing wrong with your relationship. There is nothing wrong with your partner. Because this is when you get to like 6 months to 1 year into that relationship, reality begins to set in. Love becomes more of a decision than just euphoria or dopamine hit. And how do you get past this stage? Learn your partner communication and conflict style. Right? You need to learn how they talk, how you're supposed to talk to them, because this is where true love begins. Right? In fact, communicate about your core values, your family, things that you want, about money. This is where real discussion begins to take place. That is not the time for you to give up. That is not the time for you to quit. Because the moment some of you actually notice that your partner is misbehaving or there's something that you don't like about them that they were not doing in the beginning, you begin to plan your exit. This is not the time to exit that relationship because you won't get to stage 3, which is very, very important. This is where your love begins to grow roots. And that is the only way you can get to the stage 3, which is the most important. And that is where most people give up. So number 3, disappointment and the power struggle stage. This is where your resentment begins to build up. If you don't get past stage 2, if you don't resolve all the issues you have with your partner, if you don't communicate openly, it will get to stage 3, and a lot of couples give up at this stage. You begin to feel unseen, you begin to feel unheard, and this is where silent treatment comes in play. Instead of resolving issue with your partner, you begin to give them silent treatment, and which may lead to cheating, and this is where betrayal comes in. All right? The moment you are in this stage of your relationship, don't give up. Because there is a better stage in the future. This is where you begin to experience real fight and criticism. All right? And this is where most people withdraw. In fact, some people will start questioning why they got married in the first place. You start questioning why you stay so long in that relationship. But you are not in the wrong place, especially if it's not abuse or something life-threatening. And most times you will feel stuck in that relationship. And why do most people quit at this level? Because they are not prepared for the emotional work. A lot of people think relationship is about, going out, spending time together, enjoying the best of things. But there is work you need to do. Your relationship will require you to work. Your marriage will require more work because you are coming together with someone from a different background, different orientation. So you must be ready to work on yourself emotionally. You must be ready to learn, relearn, and unlearn. And most people quit because they only learn to fight in a relationship and not fight for it. Most of you enjoy arguments in a relationship, but when your partner withdraws, you don't know how to pull them back. And how can you get past stage 3 if you are currently in that stage? Prioritize counseling. That is where you book private session. And also have a private session whereby you and your partner can book a session and I can talk to you and help you resolve some issues. Because in most cases, the same brain that created the problem will not be able to solve it. Some of you are the problem in the relationship. But because you are the problem, you can't see the problem. And that is where counselor comes in. Book a session, talk to a counselor, get therapy. A lot of you need healings. And the moment you can get healing, you can heal your partner. And if you are looking at booking a private session, just send me a message and write private session. And from there, I will tell you what to do and how to go about it. It is a paid session, actually. And apart from getting counseling, you should be able to express your heart without blaming. A lot of people at this stage, they begin to blame their partner. And when you blame somebody, the person don't take to correction. They only defend. And that is why you see that whenever you have issue with your partner, they are always trying to defend themselves instead of taking to correction. So if you're having issue with your partner, if you're in this level in your relationship, if you're in this stage in your marriage, you need to express your heart without blaming and seek counseling. So number 4, which is the last stage, the deep intimacy and partnership. This is where you experience genuine love. All right? This is where you tend to know each other properly. You tend to accept each other. Personally, I call this stage the acceptance stage. This is where you know that, okay, your partner will be flawed, but you should be able to tolerate them. This is where you tolerate your partner. This is where you begin to live with some things you can't control, because the truth is, there are a lot of things you won't be able to change about your partner. And that is the mindset you need to understand. Before you go into that relationship, make sure that their bad character is something you can tolerate, just in case they don't change. And that is the only way you can move from stage 3 to stage 4. This is where you begin to share your goals together. The moment both of you begin to plan about the future, about 10 years, and you're putting money together, you're putting resources together, you've come to that stage where you can be at peace. And that is the stage 4. And that is the reward for all the issues you've been going through in the past. But most people quit at stage 3 and they never experience stage 4. This is where you've healed your emotional wound. This is where you've forgiven each other. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about some issues in the relationship, some characters you can still tolerate, right? This is where you move. And how do you know that you are in this stage? There is intentional checking. After like 2 years or 3 years in the relationship, you are still going on dates. You are still spending time with your partner. This is when you know that, you are really in that stage of your relationship. And how can you protect your relationship through all these stages? Number 1, communicate daily. Most people, they are always on their phone. It is so disrespectful to be on your phone when you're with your partner. Communicate. Talk about a lot of things, right? Make time for each other, all right? Date weekly. You don't have to be with friends always. Be with your partner so that you can learn more about them. Review your actions monthly. Ask your partner, how did I make you feel last month? How can I get better? And this is where you begin to build stronger bond in every stage of your relationship. All right. And if you're looking at finding the right partner and building a lasting relationship, I wrote a special book for you titled The Love Formula. All right. It's available on my website, israelonodari.com, or click on the link on my bio or in the description to buy.